Alright everybody, welcome to Tzomah Gush Etzion intersection, main intersection here in the Gush Etzion area, Judean Hills. Behind me is a gathering of many Jews coming out here to cry out about the horrendous situation. There was just a miracle happened here. Right in front of me, I'm going to walk you to we're going to walk up to the gas station. There was a car bomb that went off by accident right here at the gas station. It blew up the gas station. Let's see what it looks like right now. But Friday night, two car bombs, or maybe three, were sent out to go into Gush Etzion communities. One tried to go into Efrat, but didn't succeed. One blew up here at the gas station. Here, I'll show you the gas station. Alright, this place blew up Friday night. A car bomb blew up this gas station on Friday night. Another car bomb went into the Israeli community of Karmei Tzur. And, thankfully, the rapid response team in Karmei Tzur stopped the car bomb. I think one soldier or the security guard was injured. Here you could see the destruction of the windows, destruction of the walls. Gas station. Looks like the gas pumps are okay. No big gas explosion, just the car bomb. Can you imagine a car bomb went off here? Imagine if the gas tanks would have exploded here at a gas station. But these were two car bombs. One that went off here, one that was stopped in Karmei Tzur, was supposed to kill tons and tons of innocent Jews. These are our enemies. These are our enemies. These are who every single person in the world should be protesting against, especially the Jews, especially the Israelis. Yet I was just stuck in traffic in Jerusalem because brainwashed Israeli leftists are protesting the Israeli government, blaming them for the death of 6 captives. Hello, we are dealing with Islamo-Nazis. This didn't start yesterday. It didn't start on October 7th. It didn't start in 1947. 1929, the Arab Muslims in Hebron massacred the Jews. One of the most important stories of the massacre of Jews in Hebron in 1929 is the story of the baker. The baker had an Arab Muslim worker. They were close friends like family. They used to go to each other's celebrations, family celebrations. Guess what? The day of the massacre in 1929, the Arab Muslim worker murdered his Jewish boss that they used to go to each other's events, cut off his head, and put his head in the oven of the bakery owned by the Jew. This was in 1929. We are talking about a religious war. Islam has a problem with the whole freedom-loving world. It wants the whole world to become Islam. Us Jews are the front line. The Saturday people, they come for first, then they go after the Sunday people. And we have stupid, brainwashed Jews and Israelis protesting in Israel against the government, blaming us, when it's Hamas that says no to every single deal. Even Blinken, even Secretary of State Blinken admitted Hamas says no, even though Netanyahu says yes to every deal. And yet these stupid, brainwashed Israeli leftists, religious and non-religious, are protesting the government. They want to shut the country down tomorrow, blaming Netanyahu having blood on his hands. Well, this is the strength of the Jewish people. Here, proud Jewish resettlers in Judea and Samaria, coming to the place where a miracle happened. We cannot rely on miracles. Just because the 2 car bombs miraculously did not hurt anyone on Friday night when they went off, we cannot rely on miracles. We need leaders, we need our army to eradicate the Islamo-Nazis who we're up against. That's right, they are Islamo-Nazis. The major difference between the Islamo-Nazis of today and the Nazis of Nazi Germany, at least the Nazis in Germany were embarrassed about their atrocious, horrific acts, and they hid it from the world. Theresienstadt, remember? Theresienstadt was was the model village they used to take the journalists to show, oh, look how wonderful we're treating the Jews. Those were the Nazis. They hid the gas chambers away from the world. They didn't let them know about it. Only after the war, after the freedom-loving world with America at the helm succeeded in defeating and eradicating the Nazis, then the freedom-loving world saw the horrific atrocities that the Nazis did. Islamo-Nazis today, you're talking about people who live-streamed their atrocities. Live-streamed on October 7th. They want the whole world to see what they're doing. The whole world to see the ferocious atrocities that they do. Beheadings, burnings, rapings, kidnapping women, grandmothers, little children, killing babies. That's the difference. The Islamo-Nazis today are worse than the Nazis of the 1940s. And then we have Jewish organizations and political parties blaming the Israeli government, blaming Jews for what's going on in Gaza to the captives. No, it's the Islamo-Nazis. It's Hamas. It's the Palestinian Authority. It's Hezbollah. It's Iran. It's Qatar. It's Egypt. All enemies. All enemies. And yet we have brainwashed Jews and Israelis who prefer to blame fellow Jews who they disagree with because they're right-wing, because they're religious. It's so sad. But here, I like to remind everyone of the reality of our story. And the reality of our story is, between 1948 and 1967, there was not one Jew allowed to live here in Gush Etzion. Not one Jew, no gas station, no Alon Shvut, no Efrat, no Beitar Elite, no Tekoa, no Ma'ale Amos. 0 Jews in Judean Samaria. 0. Today, we're 1 million Jews in the areas of Jerusalem that were liberated in the 1967 Miraculous War, and 500,000 Jews living in Judean Samaria communities. Our enemies have been trying to eradicate us and kill us and destroy the Jewish state of Israel for decades. They're not going to succeed. Jewish people, we are back. And we're going to overcome our external enemies, the Islamo-Nazis, and the governments and the international organizations that allow our enemies to do what they do and treat Israel as the bad guy, treat Israel as the enemy. I will give them money. They take out anti-Israel resolutions of the United Nations, but they don't do anything against the Palestinian Authority. Did you know, and I've been posting this today, the Palestinian Authority, one of its employees, security officials, is the one that killed 3 Israelis this morning. Palestinian Authority official trained by the United States military. And then you have the Palestinian Authority military force of Fatah that took responsibility for the car bombings that took place here in Gush Etzion. The Palestinian Authority. They're an enemy. There's no difference between the Palestinian Authority and Hamas in terms of their desire and goal to destroy Israel. The world is quiet. The world lets it happen. The Biden administration lets it happen. The potential Democratic administration coming up, if Trump does not win, will let it happen. The Clinton administration let it happen. The Bush administration let it happen. The Obama administration let it happen. The European Union countries, the Western European Union countries are all for whitewashing the terror of the Palestinian Authority that supports terror, that has terror, that wants to destroy Israel. But we're growing. We're growing. All these people here tonight, of the hundreds of thousands of proud Jews resettling in our ancestral homelands, we're going to overcome it all. And this is a wake-up process, folks. Understand. Everything we're experiencing today is a wake-up process. It's Jews realizing that, oh my God, there is no peace partner. There is no Palestinian Arab entity that wants to live in peace with us. And it's little by little, more and more Israelis are waking up. What happened on October 7th showed the true face of our enemies. Because it's not just Hamas terrorists. We all know it was non-combatants. This whole Palestinian national identity, that mothers educate their children when they're in kindergarten to grow up and be martyrs and kill Jews. It's the whole society. And it's a religious war. Little by little, more Jews are waking up. Little by little, Jews are owning their proud Jewish identity. To know that we need to stand up for ourselves and not continue to appease a genocidal enemy. With each day, more Jews are waking up. With each day, more Jews in Israel are waking up. That our problem is our leaders, especially in the intelligence community and the military and the IDF, who prefer to treat these Palestinian Arabs as peace partners because they're brainwashed by education in the Harvard universities and by the think tanks that they get positioned to in by the world powers in Washington, D.C., and they're not looking after Israel's interests. They are following the dictates of the U.S. foreign policy. And they are the ones saying that we shouldn't have gone into Rafiah, and we did go into Rafiah, thankfully, because of this government, because of Netanyahu. Gallant is part of the problem because he's from the defense establishment. He grew up in the defense establishment. He almost was a Ramatkal, the chief of defense, the chief of the army. So the senior leadership are part of the problem. It's the Jewish people down below. It's our fighters fighting on the ground. The heroic Jewish fighters in the IDF. My sons, neighbors, friends, me and my friends and neighbors who serve in the military and reserve. The ones on the ground doing the fighting. We are the ones. We are the future of Israel. Our children are the future of Israel. The future is bright. The generation that thought one day we won't need an army, no, we're always going to need an army. And we have to be proud of standing up for ourselves and having an army. And we have to make sure that our enemies are scared to lift a pinky against us. And we need those military leaders and intelligence leaders that won't be the ones saying, oh, no, let's take down the roadblocks and let them out of their terror cities and villages, which then brought about the shooting this morning, right? The heads of the army ordered the takedown of roadblocks that were keeping Arabs inside. And guess what? The Arab city that roadblocks were taken down, it was a terrorist from that city that left that town and then killed 3 Israelis this morning. Not only should the roadblocks be there should be mass deportation of every terror supporter. Everyone. Gaza, Judea, Samaria, Israeli citizens. They're connected to terror. They support terror. They make posts on their Instagram or their Facebook supporting the terror against Israel. Deportation. President Trump said in America, deport all terror supporters. 100%. We got to do it here. They don't belong here. You want to destroy the Jewish state of Israel? You want to kill Jews? You're out of here. Go to a country that agrees with your genocidal, anti-Jewish ideology. Go to Iran. Go to Iraq. Go to Syria. Go to Lebanon. Go to Jordan. Go to Egypt. They don't want them? Who cares? Who's asking them? They can't live here because they are educated from their mother's milk to massacre Jews and destroy the Jewish state of Israel. So we don't have that leadership yet. We're still stuck with a neutered leadership. And the politicians don't have the strength yet to stand up and do what's possible, to do what's necessary. But it's the younger generation. It's the soldiers fighting on the ground today. They're going to be our future leaders. They will know what to do. They are standing up for the proud Jewish spirit, and it's understanding that we're not supposed to live in Judea and Samaria and Gaza because God told us. God told us to live in Judea and Samaria and Gaza because that's the way we provide the best safety for the Jewish people in the world, and we're able to do all that's good for humanity. Because when we're not living in Judea and Samaria, and we're not living in Gaza, our enemies are empowered to kill us, and they're empowered to create havoc and atrocities to the freedom-loving people all over the world, not just to the Jews in Israel. That's why we have to live in Judea and Samaria. That's why we have to live in Gaza. That's why we're going to have to live in southern Lebanon. That's why we're going to have to live in Sinai also. Because any time around our borders that our enemies use that land to kill Jews and destroy Israel, well, we're going to end up having to live there and control it to protect not just the Jews and Israeli citizens who are good, freedom-loving, proud Israeli citizens, no matter what religion they are, but it's by being in all those places that we will be able to provide security for the whole freedom-loving world. Because so long as the Arab Muslims in their Islamic jihad against humanity, that they know they can go after the Saturday people first, go after the Jews, and the world lets them get away with it, they know they'll be able to get away with going after the Sunday people. And that's all the non-Jews in Western Europe, in America, in Canada, in Australia, in New Zealand. So we are the front line of humanity, everyone. Stand with the Jewish people. Stand with the Jewish state of Israel. We will overcome our external enemies and our internal challenge of leadership, societal, organizational, political, who are trying to weaken the Jewish spirit and destroy us from within. They might have good intentions. They might have good intentions, but they're misled by lies. Shalom, everyone. The future is bright. Stand with us. Remember, once upon a time, Gush Etzion, between 1940 and 1967, there were 0 Jews here. Now we're a thriving community of tens of thousands. And growing by the day. Real estate here is booming. Make Aliyah, come home if you're not here yet. We are the future of the Jewish people, and we're going to make this place safer than ever before. Am Yisrael Chai.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.